Hey, I'm gonna do this quickly. It is like 5:15 in the morning, and I'm sleeping a little bit better, but at the same time not. I have to go back to sleep. Anyway, so uh, I started on transportation today, and I got done with roads, bus, car when I got motorbike. No, I didn't get done with car. That's it. Car is like 22 words. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying I'm not going to go back to it. I'm just going to skip that and keep powering through. Because, yeah, so I'm going to keep going with this. But that's too many words for one lesson. It was ridiculous. When I come back after touching on all of this stuff, when I come back with the having like a journal and writing down all the words and everything like that, after I've done everything, then I'll definitely do that because I'm going to be writing it down. So what am I learning doing all this? Am I even retaining? I'm hoping I retain like 30% of the non-Konglish, maybe less than that, maybe 10% of the non-Konglish words. Konglish words are like pizza, like it's pizza, but taken from English, made into Korean, and you have pizza. And other words that are just bus, like they're English words made into Korean. So they're a lot easier to remember. Yeah, so I will, at minimum, do train, aircraft, airport. If I'm feeling really ambitious or whatever, I will finish transportation today. Or if I end up finding like 20 something words where the lesson is just way too long, yeah, one or the other. But I should probably be around airport or ship by the end of the day. That's my goal for Korean. Korean's out of the way. This basic principles of design. I said I was going to watch all these videos. I did. These 7 videos were so easy compared to having to do doing like 15 or more in a day. So doing these videos, it was easy to watch them, but kind of misleading because it had nothing to do with visual or graphical design, but the design of your code, how to reduce the size of your code, make it maintainable, simple, clean, easy to read, so that you could go back to it 6 months, a year later and redo it. Or for that matter, pass it on to another person, a coworker, and they'll be able to read what you did, and it won't be so difficult. And it's more than just adding comments when necessary. Really good code, apparently, should be readable without having to use comments. But if you're new, like me, comments are like super appreciated. Anyway, so finished that, and I only got like a third done with ES6. I spent most of my time making this thing. So I said I was gonna I'm not done yet, but I will be. I'm hoping to be done with this by the time I'm done with quarantine. I'll get to why it's going to take a while. So my idea, instead of calling them bugs or projects or whatever, I'm using quests because it's still a game machine. It's still a game engine. So add quest, add something. They're gonna you'll write a brief name and description in here, and then it'll populate over here. and there will be a list under available right there. And then select quest will start it. Maybe I should rewrite that to start quest anyway. So this will populate here, then you put the start date, and then you'll put it into in progress. And then completed quest, you've completed it, it goes what am I doing? I should just pull that up. But it's slow. The computer is always slow. Okay. So basically this is what the app would look like. So you would hit add quest, and that'll go in there. You could select that and it'll pop up, or you write it in, whichever. Probably better for you to select that, pop it up here, and then put in the date that you're starting it. Select quest goes into here, pick that up. It populates here, and then you do put in the completion date, click completed quest, and then your bug or issue or whatever has been resolved, and you have that list right there, and it stays there for your records. That's what I'm thinking, but maybe I'll have a delete button here. I'm doing the visual design of it last because the code is more complicated and more difficult, but once you have it, then there you go. Okay. So we got QuestManager and data. I don't know. From what I learned from the chat box app that I had the tutorial about, it seemed like a good idea to on-ready variables for all the nodes that are not buttons, because the button's only purpose is just to be pressed. So when you have the add quest button, on selected quest button, or on completed quest button, just having the buttons here, what you do is you go to the button, go to the node, go for pressed, and then you could connect and you'll get a signal, and that's what that is. That puts it into the script. And the main script is this. And this is what it looks like to, you use comments partly because you're still putting together the code, you're still trying to figure out if this is how it should work, and you're thinking about it still. So you start writing down what you think of it, and over here, this we added as a singleton. What that means, it's like a file that's loaded with the app, and it processes its data by itself, and it can be used as a global piece of data that can be accessed by other scripts. So it's like a root of everything. And here we have item data and item save for when I pull up the data from a JSON file. That's what I plan to use to store everything in JSON files. And then it's going to retrieve. No, wait. This is for retrieving, read. This is for writing to the JSON file. And so you put the root, and then here you put the I don't know why I put table name. I was following somebody. I don't know why I put table name hyphen name of file. But anyway, I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into the why. You could press Control and you'll find keywords like class file that are already part of Godot, and you can get a description of how they work and like what properties, but more importantly what methods, what you're able to do with it. You could close a file, you can do some Boolean options with it. These declare what the content of the file is, like if it's string data or maybe it's float data, like in a counting sheet or something. Let's see here, what else? Some error messages and what those errors will mean when you come across them. Yeah, it's all stuff that I should probably read, but I'll get to that. There's a lot of stuff involved, and I guess that's it. This is my notes from this is what I wrote down from some of the earlier parts of the video series for the first one for the Godot tutorial basics or whatever, GDScript basics. This is part of me trying to figure out, like, maybe I should use an array instead of a JSON file, or something like that. And it occurred to me the reason why an app like this is good to be your first app is because you could do the data storage and retrieval, and yeah, you need to prove that you could do CRUD, and CRUD on data is to create data, like in the file, to read the data, to edit the data, right? CRED. What's it called? Update. To update the data. Edit, update. I think CRED sounds better than CRUD. CRED. Create, read, edit, and delete. Yeah. You need to be able to prove that you can do these 4 things when creating files and data. Because even a solo game that runs on your PC, you're going to need to be able to do that so that your character can save if you want to make a role-playing game. If you want to call stats from enemies, that could be just placed easily on a separate sheet, and so you could do that in like a spreadsheet or word processor or any number of other ways you could write these JSON files. That was too many. You could write these JSON files. And I'll show you what one of them looks like. I'm going to use basic Notepad because that's on everything. So a JSON file is a dictionary, and a dictionary has 2 pairs. You have the pair before the colon, pair after the colon. The pair before the word before the colon is called a keyword, and so when I look up null, I will get the rest of this. if I look up name, if I look up this app written just like that, then the rest of this information will pop up. If I look for the start date, or if I look for this information, the whole thing can pop up. You can get all of it by looking for just one piece. All of that one record. So you could put records together of information, like so in this case the name of the quest, the name of the issue that needed to be resolved, the start date, the end date. If there's no start date and there's no end date, and those are still left null, but I pull up the quest information, then I could find that in the to-do. So what I will do is have to do some kind of if then else or match structure for this, not this, for this. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I? There we go. Kind of. This. There we go. So what I need to do over here is some kind of if else structure or match structure or something involving the null JSON data. Like if name and null on start and null on stop, write it if null on name and null on start, write it if name, and if it has a name and null data for date started and null data for date completed, it'll write here. Else, if name data exists and date started data exists but date completed is null, it writes here. Else, name is completed, date started is completed, date completed is completed. All the data is available, it shows up here. I will have to also put protections on select and complete, and add like if this is null and this is null, these two things can't be pressed. This requires something, so this can't be pressed for this if that is null, or if that isn't null, something to that effect. So I'm going to have to do some sort of protection on the buttons to authenticate the information, to make sure the information that's being put in there is accurate-ish, because these can be text data, the date started, because you could write out October something, or you could do it with numbers, however you want. Either way, it's going to save in the same data type, which will be a string. I can go and make this better later. I just want to make something to prove that I can do CRED or CRUD, whatever. And that's the goal of this project. And once you have that difficult part done, then you could do more because you have the foundation of what this app does. You have to figure out when you're making an app, what does it do? Like at the very root thing, like you have to strip away what it looks like or whatever. If you're making a game, are you telling a story? Or are you just trying to like complete a level? I mean, there's more to the game than just the game itself. It's greater than the sum of its parts, in the sense of like it's supposed to give an experience or whatever. You're supposed to play this game and feel great or whatever. But you need to always go down to what is the purpose of the game. If it's an experience, why are you getting this kind of experience? Are you trying to tell a story? Because I dig RPGs. I've dug role-playing games my whole life. They seem to have a purpose. Playing action games where you get to the end and you beat a level, and I think back then, like some of the old Mega Man games and whatnot, they were freaking hard. And that was a point to overcome like this difficult challenge in a game. And that's what people like. The older games were like that, and maybe some of the newer ones are too, is to overcome difficult challenges inside a game. And yeah, those are fun, I guess, but I have difficult challenges in life. I rather accomplish something difficult in life. Games might be like training wheels for life. I don't know. But yeah, I would rather accomplish something in life than I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan of someone. I don't know. I'm rambling here. Anyway, that should be this video. So what do I plan to do today? Work on this some more. I'm going to get to complete either airport or a ship, or maybe the rest of transportation today. I think I might make this my focus today. I think I might complete that or try to complete this one thing today. Maybe I'll touch regular expressions. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. But I think, yeah, what I want to do today is complete this thing. I'm not going to do any videos. I'm not going to watch any of this stuff unless it pertains to making this app. If it doesn't pertain to making this app, I'm not watching any videos. This app, this ES6 unit for the JavaScript certification. Those two things plus the Korean thing, I think that's enough for today. This way I could have better focus on them, and maybe I'll figure out exactly what I need to do and test and see why I did it wrong, because you will get it wrong the first bunch of times until you really know what you're doing. But you can't be bothered by that. So yeah, I'm going to put more focus on this. Hopefully it'll be done for tomorrow, but I'm not promising on that. I will just make the effort. Okay, that's it. If you listen to this, you're awesome. I don't know why, but thank you that you're listening to this. I'll have a tutorial, a real tutorial on this app after I've made it. I think what I'll do is I'll make it. I'll remake the app in a video, and we can type it out together step by step. Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe not because the whole part with the JSON data was a little bit difficult. Might be possible, might be doable. Okay, enough rambling. Have a great one. Thank you very much.